guys? What's up? What's up? This is Good Buddy Z. Today I want to talk about traveling. Okay, so you need to take the necessary precautions when you go out and travel. The reason is that you could encounter a lot of dangers. Maybe let's say like you're going to another country and something like that. You could encounter dangers that you may not be aware that they exist where you are going. For instance, you have to know your environment. When you're traveling to another country, you have to analyze and know your environment. You have to know what to do, you have to know what not to do, you have to know what to say, you have to know what not to say. So it's very imperative that you take those precautions when you go out to travel, because I've heard a lot of stories where people, they go travel to another country, maybe in search of a better life, but then something bad happens to them. you know Maybe they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe they were dressed in a certain way. Maybe they, whatever, man, whatever. Maybe maybe the way they look kind of made them an easy target for criminals. So you have to be aware of those things, guys, when you go out traveling. A lot of nasty things can happen, especially if you are a tourist. If you're not from that country, you need to know like the culture, the environment. You need to know like the places where you should go and the places where you shouldn't go. So that's very, very important to keep in mind. Yeah, very, very important to keep in mind. I've heard very, very sad stories of people getting involved in human trafficking rings because they thought that they had a good job. Maybe let's say they went overseas for a job, but then it turned out to be a scam, and it turned out to be some kind of sex trafficking ring. Those things happen, guys. You have to be aware of them. You really, really need to be aware of them. Whenever you go out and you travel to another country, going to another country, you need to understand where you're going and where you're not supposed to go, and you need to understand what to do and what not to do. Going to another country and flexing money is not the best way to go about it. You're just going to end up becoming an easy target for criminals. That's not what you want, guys. Not what you want. You need to make sure that you take all the necessary precautions. Maybe have somebody who's in that country who can maybe teach you the ways of that country. Maybe teach you what to do and what not to do, where to go and where not to go. It's very, very helpful having that pen pal, having that friend or whatever, a companion who can teach you about the things that go on to the place where you are going to. Yeah, take those precautions, guys. Take those precautions. Don't leave everything to chance. A lot of nasty things happen. Don't leave everything to chance. Always double check. If you are heading to work to another country, always double check, guys. Always double check to see if the company is legit. The company that you want to work for, always double check, guys. Always take those precautions, because it's very rough out there. Very, very rough out there. The world sometimes, it's very unforgiving. Sad reality. The world is just like that. It's very unforgiving sometimes. So having those, taking those precautions, I think it's very important. But I'm not saying you shouldn't travel. Of course you can go to travel, but do it wisely. Always take precautions. Always know where to go, where not to go. Always know who to talk to and things like that. I'm not saying this will save you, but it could minimize the chances of you running into some danger. It's better that than nothing, guys. It's better than nothing. Just take those necessary precautions. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. and I will bring you more content. But for now, it's peace out.